Hello everyone, and welcome to the lesson for multiplying and dividing rational expressions, day 1. So we're going to look at how do you multiply and or divide algebraic fractions. So multiplying, you need to factor numerators and denominators, then divide out factors, and then multiply across. Okay, so let's take a look at this first one. If we look at this, A divides into itself once, and there. 5 divides into itself once and divides into 24 times. And that's about all we can do. So if we multiply across the top, you have 3 over 28, 7 times 4. Done. Take a look at B here. So we're going to factor as we go. All right. X squared minus 9 is x plus 3, and x minus 3. Now let me fix that. The 4x stays as 4x. 15 plus 5x could be 5x plus 15, which will help because we're going to factor a 5 out of that. 5x plus 15. So we factor out a 5. You wind up with x plus 3. Now we're left with this. If we factor out a negative 1, you can reverse those terms. So if I do negative 2x plus 6, no, 2x minus 6, excuse me. What am I thinking here? 2x minus 6. So if I factor a 2 out of that, I have negative 2, and then x minus 3. Okay. So it'll, again, factoring out a negative 1, that's that little magical thing, and we've talked about that. It allows you to reverse the order of the terms. So now everything is factored. X plus 3 will divide into x plus 3 once. X minus 3 divides into itself once. Those are all ones, multiplying by 1. Negative 2 divides into itself. Actually, no, we're done. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10 across the top and 4x on the bottom. Now we can actually simplify the negative 10 over 4x to negative 5 over 2x. We could have dealt with the negative 2 and the 4 up front, but it didn't really matter. Maybe it's a little cleaner this way. Okay, so there's your final answer. So you're going to factor first, factor first, factor first, then divide out. Okay, so let's take a look at dividing. When you're dividing, you're going to take the reciprocal of the second fraction, so you're flipping that second fraction. Then you change the divide to a multiply, and then you follow the rules for multiplication that are above. So if we look at this, you have 4 over 5 times 5 over 1. Well, the 5's divide into each other once, and when you multiply across the top, you get a 4. Multiply across the bottom, you get a 1. Final answer is 4. Okay. Let's take a look at B now. So the 2x stays as 2x. X squared minus 4 is x plus 2, and x minus 2 times. Now we're going to flip this. So you get 4x on top and x plus 2 on the bottom. So if you needed to factor the second term, when you flip it, then factor it. It just saves you a step. So x plus 2 divides into itself once. X divides into itself once. 2 divides into itself once and divides into 4 twice. Okay, so your final answer is 2 times x minus 2 over 1, but you don't have to put it over 1. So that would be your final answer, 2 times x minus 2. And So this is the lesson on multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So remember, on multiplying, factor first, okay? Dividing, take the reciprocal of the second fraction, flip the fraction that's being divided, okay? In this case, the second one, right? Then you change the divide to a multiply sign, and then go back up to multiplying rules, which is factor first. So this is the lesson on multiplying and dividing rational expressions, and this lesson has been brought directly to you from my dining room table.